The chapel build continues. The walls are up and the roof is on. Now we're on to the next step. Today we're going to be building a deck and porch roof on the back and a porch roof on the front of the wedding chapel. Let's make it happen, Captain. For more great content just like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now the first thing we're going to tackle is the foundation. And for that, we are going to be using custom-made 6x6 red oak posts. So let's get started. I think this will go pretty well today. We'll go ahead and get the deck built. We'll go ahead and get the two roofs built. Okay. And then we can go from there. I can do another metal takeoff so that I get everything I need to do the two metal roofs on it.
All right.
And we'll get that called in and ordered in.
Yeah.
I called my cousin because I thought that he might be inclined to help me dig these holes over here. But I see that he just came to drop these two shovels off and he's gonna just let me borrow them for a little while. What a nice guy, huh?
I'm a busy man.
All right, 10-4. So we're gonna start with our ledger board application. We've already popped the line on the back side of the building and we've done that 3.5 inches below our subfloor. And the reason I wanna do 3.5 is because we have an inch decking board that's going to go on top of the joist framing, and I really like my deck's a good number for me is to always stay at least 2.5 inches underneath the sill. If you get any snow buildup or any driving rain, that'll push the water against this flashing and then out, instead of it being a little higher right at the sill height of the door and underneath the door, which is exactly what we don't want. So we're going to go 3.5 inches down with our subframe, so that way when we put our decking boards on, we'll be nice and clear. We're gonna move this ledger board 1.5 inches in of our overall dimension so that our side band ledger can actually go to the house and we can attach that with a metal fastener. So our overall dimension is gonna come out to here, but our ledger band is gonna go 1.5 inches set in. And we will attach that with 3 nails every 16 inches and then come back right behind it, and we're going to put ledger locks, a form of lag screw made for decks, in between each layout, same 16 inches on center in a zigzag form. When you do use a level, all the wood has a natural curve, so you really want to use something that's optimal for the length of the board that you're trying to level. We use these Stabila extender levels because it can reach from our bottom plate all the way to our top plate, or in this scenario from our ledger board all the way out to the outermost point of the joist. So you're getting a true reading off your level. If you use a 2-foot level or a 4-foot level in this scenario, say for example, only the first 4 feet of the board is actually straight, and you level from that point, well, the rest of the 2x10 could have a curve down up to 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch. Hopefully you're not using wood like that, but it can happen. So you want to use a level that can actually reach from the innermost point to the outermost point and give you an actual true reading. Let's go right there. Yep. And then de ahí vamos a cortar otro banda de la misma medida. Let's come down a little bit. Right there. Up 1/2 inch. Oh, bájalo una cabo. Right there. All right, good. No lo mueves, Manuel. Good job. Woof, it went right up my daggone nose. The hair bit right there, bloom, right up my nose. That was almost worse than drinking a soda in the wrong pipe. All right, so now that we have our outer bands installed, we're gonna square this from the outermost point to this corner and vice versa. to get the same exact measurement and make sure that we're truly square. Now I have 212 and a quarter, 212 and a quarter, good to go. I'm not gonna do that. Them ring shank don't wanna come out, buddy. That sucker really holds. You can see them spirals on there. When it goes in, it takes you to do that to the nail to get it out. So when they're in there, they're in there. So make sure it's right before you nail it. So these pneumatic guns are definitely a super time saver. But if you just nail crazy just because you have a nail gun, I mean, it's just no good. You really want to stay an inch away from the edge of the board when you do a toenail. The toenail is like the strongest nail you can do versus a face nail, which would be in here to here. But a toenail, if you can get about an inch of what you're nailing through, it will also make a good sufficient amount into the ledger itself and really create that hold. And no matter what you want to do, you can never pull that away. But if you didn't have nails at that position, obviously it wouldn't be that good. ¿Dónde estás tú? Meterle vos. 45, 7, 8. Good. Exactamente lo mismo en el otro lado. Yep. Tráigame la pistola, Danilo. Yeah, you're already, está bueno. We got 4 1x6s. So we are going to be using irregular planks to kind of give it that old feel. And so we will kind of have to figure that out as we go, what looks pleasing. I know that we have some extra wide steps that we're going to use with about a 15 or 16 inch run. So that 1x12 with a 1x6 is probably going to be some type of form of happening on the steps. And we'll do a picture frame install on the decking boards, which will kind of give it like a photograph frame look, if you will. And we'll show you how those blocks are installed to support that in a few moments. Beautiful, beautiful. Bacao, baby. So we're gonna do a beautiful picture frame around this deck. And we have an 8 1/4 deck board that's gonna be around the outside edge. So we're gonna pop that line all 3 sides so that we'll be able to install that outermost decking board first. And then we'll be able to fill in from that point after those are installed. Now to install that picture frame style of decking, we've actually had to turn a piece of lumber sideways up here, so that way when we do install that outer edge, we leave ourselves enough room of something to screw the piece that butts into that outer trim piece. And we did that by installing a 2x10 flush to the top of the joist here and supporting it with blocks marked down 1.5 inches, which is the exact width of the 2x10 itself. And that gives us a nice even playing field with plenty of room to install some screws, so we don't have to get too close to the edge of the decking board with those screws and kind of split or crack that edge. Ahí están los postes per la porch beam. Boy, he said 8.5 by 11.5. He wasn't kidding, was he, buddy? Great day in the morning. You know what we're doing with all that? We're building a daggone reception hall right there. These are going to be the beams that support the porches that go on the outside.
Really?
And these are the posts that are going to go out there. $22,000. Is that how many dollars it costs?
No, that's so heavy, that bundle.
22,000 pounds? Just one bundle? We're going to have to manhandle that one day, in a couple days. 59. y un tornillo aquí hago después, hago más fino, ¿ok? We're moving right along. So now on to the porch beam and roof system. We're getting our porch beam installed, and we're gonna be using a box beam type of format. So we're gonna have a 2x8 on the bottom, a 2x10 on each side, and another 2x8 on top. And we're gonna interlock those breaks and changes so that they will all tie into each other and there's no way to pull or separate at any time. Un cuarto más. That is beautiful, nail it. Daylight's running out. We're gonna have to pick the pace up a little bit. We're gonna send a couple guys to the front so they can work on that porch beam while this continues on. Divide and conquer. Let's go. Yeah. For this side and the other side, we're doing a system called a box beam installation. And that's basically nothing special except for we're gonna get one top plate and one bottom plate apart from the supporting member, which is the 2x10 itself. And we're gonna fasten that in the form that the 2x10 that comes from the bigger beam can sit on here and attach to these two 2x10s this way. And then the 1x6 that comes over will also overlap and be able to nail to both of these, creating an entirely interlocked system. And apart from being completely interlocked and never moving, it's just cosmetically gorgeous and super easy for me to work on later when I go to install some rustic lumber to cover the beam. It's gonna look really good and nice to work with. We're gonna have to call it a wrap for today, guys. The light's almost gone. We have a lot more to do, but that's for another video. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of it. And until then, y'all have a great day. Wake up with Folgers in your cup, baby. There's nothing like it.